All right. How you doing, Amanda? I'm Ryan.
Ryan. Nice
to meet you. Thanks for being here. All right. Well, what I would say is, as far as systematic racism, right? I think most of us would agree that at the very least it has occurred in this country.
Okay.
Right. You know, we've had slavery, we've had Jim Crow segregation, all these different things.
Yeah.
I think my argument would be that right now in modern America, I don't think, at the very least, it's not as prevalent as it has been to where it could stop us from being successful. Okay. I would say that it's not a thing anymore where it needs to be talked about so much and so much attention focused on it. I don't think that currently there is systematic racism in a way that is going to be harmful to us, you know, like I said, to stop us. If anything, really, I think institutions such as things with DEI.
What do you think DEI is?
Basically, I think that it's in a way it's racism against other races outside of blacks. And so
it's basically, bro, it's racism towards everyone. Excuse me. It is a benefit to everyone except for white men. That's what it is. Affirmative action, all this bullshit, bro. It's all on a crusade to marginalize white men. Let's just keep it 1,000, bro. If you're a woman, fine. If you're black, fine. If you're Hispanic, fine. But you're a white dude, bad. That's what DEI is, an affirmative action. It is legalized discrimination against white men. Let's just call it all the way a buck, bro. Okay? DEI, affirmative action, all this shit is legalized racism towards Caucasian men. And nobody has the balls to say that.
Where did you get that concept of it from?
I've researched a lot of things. I looked at different clips from both sides of the argument, things like that. But
because white women still benefit from DEI too. Actually, if I'm going to be all the way honest, white women are like the worst, because what they'll do is, right? Well, number one, their men don't have them in check. That's a fucking problem. For all you idiots that sit there and say that I don't talk shit about white people, here you fucking go. White men don't keep their white women in check. And then a lot of them are liberals and a lot of them are progressives. And what do? They're usually at the forefront with the gays, with the blacks, with them boys, right?
It's not my fault that I have to do.
Okay. Cosplaying as white, by the way. A lot of the times, you know, her name is Morgan, right? Gold. But then you find out it's really Morgan Goldstein. And they push the liberalism and the woke agenda. All right? So white women will sit there and sell out white dudes and say, look, they're the oppressor, they're bad, but we're women, so we get oppressed by them too. Give us DEI. It is a systemic and open and legal discrimination towards Caucasian men. That's what it is. And white women are the leaders of that shit. And this is why I tell y'all, white dudes, you guys got to do better, man. You guys got to keep your women in check, bro. You guys got to keep your women in check better. They're out here going crazy.
Okay.
Basically, my point is, I think that as far as systematic racism, I think that there's evidence from the other side, in that there's different things that are pushing black people up in ways that are not fair, and different things like that. Because I think that we should be merit-based. I think that should always be merit-based, and where we're in, you know, when there's jobs and different things like that.
Yeah, when do you guys?
I think that, let's say that there are ways right now where systematic racism is still alive. Again, it's not holding us back to a point where we can still be successful. We've seen so many examples, you know, today in modern times where black Americans can, you know, there's no opportunities that I have that a white person or that a white person has that I don't have. I believe that all opportunities.
Are you sure about that? Can you actually say that?
I would say that I have every opportunity in this country to be successful, to do what I want to do, and to stand on business that every other race has. Absolutely. And
do you have the
again,
same support?
Even if I don't have the same support, I can do what I got to do.
Do you have the same support?
I probably have more. I can have more support than others.
Support?
I have excellent community support. Absolutely.
Lucky for you.
Sure. Yeah.
Where did you grow up in a lower income, middle income, high income community?
It was middle income.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, I think that even those who grow up in very needy situations, right, they may not have been dealt a great hand of cards,
but they can
still, you know, I think it comes down to accountability. You can still play your hand and play your cards strategically in a way where you can still be successful, you can still do your thing, and you can wind up on top, and there's nothing stopping us from doing that.
Would you say that low income white people and low income black people have the same ability to excel?
I would say they have the same ability to excel.
Okay, so I'm going to start countering from that point then. So ultimately, we know that our low-income communities are not given the same access to resources on a myriad of levels. They don't even have the same air quality, okay? We know that low-income communities in general are also going to be much more policed than other communities. We know that policing as it exists in the United States came from slave catching. So even the tradition of policing comes from protecting property, not protecting people, okay? So let's start there. When we talk about low-income, like the working class Black people in this nation, we know that they have never been considered. Ever, whether they were slaves or not. They just weren't considered. And we also know, as our brother Isaiah pointed out, that there are still people in very powerful positions that hold very personal positions as it relates to racism. And so in that way, they are impediments to someone moving forward. When we talk about DEI, the concept of DEI is not about lowering a standard. It's about widening the options. So we live in a nation.
Widening the options. Okay. Ooh. Here's the thing. You don't need to widen the options if the options are good. Okay? Like, what? No, it's preferential treatment to marginalized groups to give them a chance because they're inadequate.
That I feel like a lot of y'all are looking at the United States as a long history of something. We have a short history. All right. For 400 years, there was slavery. Black people were not even considered whole humans. We were 3/5 human. After the Civil War, during Reconstruction, Black people were
3/5 when it comes to representation and voting. See, bro, come on, man.
Then subjected to the Black laws. The Black laws were specifically for Black people. The Black laws incarcerated Black people at such an exorbitant rate that they were able to get another slave labor force through the 13th Amendment because you had Black people that were serving entire life, like months-long, years-long years-long sentences for jaywalking.
Guys, smash
over that. That's 2 generations previous, okay? So if a father in the early 1900s was incarcerated for 2 years, how do you think that would impede their family from being able to grow, right? Now you're affecting the ability for their children to have 2 parents in the home. You also now have a mother who's like incredibly stressed and may have to always be working, so she's not able to parent, etc. We also know that there is a continued effort in this nation to not have Black people know the history of this nation. Like our good sis here was talking about, like, we have resilience, but this nation actively works systemically to keep that from us, right? We look in Florida at the laws that they are passing to not allow education about our past. And we know that if we don't know where we came from, how can we know where we're going?
All right, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
All good.
That's flags.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi again.
We cool now?
We good. We good. I think we're on the same. We're kind of looking at the same side of the same coin, and I think we both want the betterment of the Black community, and I think we're maybe coming from it from different ways. And so I do respect your position to what you were saying as well, that there are certain things and powers at play. And I've experienced racism firsthand. A lot of conservatives may try to act like, oh, there's no racism in America. I absolutely believe that there's racism in America. I believe racist people exist.
Yeah, it exists.
Don't think that the systems as they stand today are inherently racist because I've seen too many Black people overcome. And I just feel like a lot of time.
Yeah, the United States has more Black millionaires than anywhere else in the world, dude. Literally, more Black millionaires than anywhere else in the world.
What's left out of the dialogue is self-accountability and like self-will. We talked about how we were 3/5 of a person, but now we are 100%, I guess, according to the law or whatever, a person.
But still acting like morons.
And I feel like at the end of the day, if you wanted to walk out here right now and decide, you know what, I want to change my career, I want to do that, you can. And that's why so many people, and Nigerians come here, and Indians come here, and so many people.
Yep, and they're Black, and they find a way. Jamaicans, people come from look like Black. They look like FBAs, but they come here and they kill it. Why? Clearly, there's no racism. It's not racism to the point that it's going to keep you from being successful. That's why people come from the Caribbean and Africa and kill it, dude. Meanwhile, fucking the FBA's over here complaining. That's what FBA stands for. Frequently bitching about anything. That's what FBA stands for.
People who are not white, who are supposed to be discriminated against because they're not white, they come here and they become doctors and lawyers. Why? Because to your
facts.
Your point, there's community. There's a sense of pride about, you know what, I got to go honor my parents back in Nigeria. I'm part Nigerian. I have to go honor my parents. I have to go honor my elders. They're not twerking and shaking booty. They're getting
They are literally twerking and shaking booty in Nigeria.
Yeah, but they're not, okay. The way they're doing it in America, right, with music videos and everything else like that, which, this whole twerking thing is
redacted.
Oh. I don't know what the fuck wrong with these spear trucker niggas, but yeah. Yeah. But the way we do it in America is way worse.
I know ain't doing it. If they are
We
Turkish, but
literally
they
learned
doctors
it from Africa.
They're doctors turking and shaking
literally
booty, so
have
maybe
it
they
from
can
Africa.
shake because they got
But
the money to back it up.
that's
But do you see what
an
you're saying? But do
generalization.
you see what I'm saying though? We have to be honest, Amanda. When
Well,
Indians come here,
as a fellow daughter of an immigrant,
Okay.
right? So my mother's from Grenada. My mother did come here and was
Oh, she's technically a tether.
able to work and was able to get green cards
Props
for
to
folks.
her.
So shout out to my mom. There's a very big difference in growing up somewhere and coming from a place where you are the majority and where your people are running the show than being somewhere where your people have been subjugated the entire time your people have been
but your
here.
mama came here and she wasn't the majority. So how
No.
did she succeed?
She succeeded because she came here with the fortitude of coming from a place.
Her resilience, right?
No, but
And she had her village.
Let me say what I'm saying.
Okay, I'll let you unpack.
If we don't acknowledge divide and conquer in the United States, we are having a pointless conversation.
I agree.
We have to acknowledge that there is a concerted effort at divide and conquer in the United States. We're literally watching it happen right now with an effort to divide and conquer and have black people fighting immigrants and have black people saying that immigrants don't matter.
And
So we're-
fighting white people.
White people is not the point. The concept of white people is about people who are upholding a supremacy of whiteness versus people who understand that there should be an egalitarianism. There should
I
be an
believe that
equality.
we are becoming the new white supremacists.
We
'cause
are.
We've been
We
putting them on
are.
a pedestal.
We are.
We feel like we can't
We
do
are.
anything.
No, it's not that
We
we're
ain't
putting
been
them.
nothing,
It's not
won't
that
be
we're putting them
nothing.
on a pedestal. It's that we are joining them and instead weaponizing our blackness against our people. When
How
we
are we
do what
joining
you're
them?
saying, we are saying, I am better because I figured it out, and so you're the problem because you didn't figure
But
it
Amanda,
out.
what about if I believe that the
Yeah, it's called meritocracy. Cream rises to the top, baby.
American dream is I have a right to that as well? Is that me joining white people, or is that me saying, you know what, I
What's
want
the
a life for
American
my
dream?
The American dream for me, because it may look different from other people. Some people it's a boss chick. For me, I want my kids to grow up in a wonderful neighborhood. I want them to go to college. I want to have a 401k. I want to do this. I want to do that. So I feel like a lot of times in the black community, we associate anything that's right or that's just or that's striving forward with whiteness. So when you say that we're
it's
working
not
with
that it's
them,
whiteness, it's capitalism. And I think that's what we have to understand the difference of. The concept of capitalism always is grounded in exploitation.
but Amanda,
So
we're sitting here benefiting from capitalism, and you know that because you would.
I understand that we are benefiting. I understand that we are benefiting from capitalism, but I also understand that we would have other people and a majority of people benefit if we were not solely capitalist. That is what it means to be a black radical. Is to understand that I can benefit as well as others.
So, Amanda, what is your solution then? Because we know that capitalism benefits us, and people are
My
coming here every
solution
day.
is what I continue to say. We need to have coalition building across cultural differences, across ethnicities, across classes.
and that includes
We need
collaborating
to-
with white people.
I've never said it didn't.
But I feel
this
like a lot of
obsession,
times-
this obsession with white people fails to acknowledge the fact that there are people who benefit from white supremacy.
But we
who
live
do
in
not-
America,
Let me finish
Amanda.
my point.
Go
There
ahead.
are people who benefit from white supremacy that do not identify themselves as white. They don't consider that to be the most important element of their identity because they understand that at the end of the day, we need to see each other as humans that all deserve a right to exist.
Exactly.
We
I
all
agree.
deserve a right to exist, and I shouldn't have to earn my right to exist. And
You know,
that
but-
is what
but
capitalism
What makes you think
does.
that you have to earn it? That's what I'm
That
saying.
is
Like,
You can exist. You just can't be lazy, bro. Like, man, dude, this is like some socialist type behavior here.
what
I
this
don't feel
nation
that
is.
way.
You do have to earn it.
You don't have to earn
Yes,
it.
you do.
We are
That
in
is why we are
America, Amanda.
criminalized.
No, you have to earn a certain level of wealth. You have to earn a certain level of respect. You have to earn a certain level of status. That is earned. It's a meritocracy, okay? Not everybody is equal, despite the fact that people want to sit there and make things as egalitarian as possible. Communism doesn't work. Looks good on paper, but it simply doesn't work.
Criminalizing the poor. We are criminalizing the poor on a regular basis.
How so?
Because they commit crimes.
How so? Because we're not even allowing for a wage to happen to allow people to get out of poverty. We are seeing
Amanda,
inflation grow.
We
No.
both have people in our family that have done it, so we can't.
No, we have
say
not
that.
had people that are done it. My mother came to America with an entire nursing degree. I can't say, oh, well, my mother did it. Why can't you? Because my
My
mother
mama was pregnant at 19 from the south side of Chicago with no degree and still made
good
something
for
of
your
herself.
mom.
That's what
But
I'm
this is
saying.
the thing.
So we can't
your
do
mom
it.
Is, I'm not, it's not. The question isn't whether or not some people can do it. The question and the reality is that it is not available to everyone in an equal way.
And that's unfortunate, man. But you know we live in a
It's
broken
not a matter-
society. I went to
well, then
Nigeria
that's what
and they're
we're
having the
talking
same
about.
problems, and
But
there's a
that's
bunch
what
of
we're
black
talking
people that are
about.
running
It's a broken
Nigeria.
society.
But it's the same thing in
But
Nigeria. and there are
Nigeria
black
is a
people in
broken
power-
society,
with black
whereas
people in
Burkina
power.
Faso is not. Burkina Faso is not.
That's time.